Going, counting down, and now we're
Go
live.
live. We're live.
Welcome to the Wired for, I almost said Real Estate Wired. Welcome to the Wired for Real Estate podcast, where today we're going to talk about Instagram versus TikTok, two very famous short form platforms. But with the twist, the idea is which one is actually better for bringing you business in 2023, right, Melody?
Yes, and you can tell in this episode we are completely live. And if you have any comments or questions, you're watching us on any of the channels, make sure to comment and we will throw your question in. Otherwise, we will have it all good to go. So I'm really interested. We brought on a guest who we're going to talk about in 2 seconds. And I don't know, Ian, you're on both, right?
What does that mean? Oh, yeah,
Ian.
platforms. Yeah. I am on multiple
I was
platforms.
talking about. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. So without it, yeah, we're going to talk all about Instagram versus TikTok. And like Ian said, is it better? Where should you put your time? Should you do either? Should you do none? Should you just do one? We'll see.
We'll see. Welcome to the Wired podcast, the show that's all about empowering agents with the latest tech, tools, and tactics to take your business to the next level. If you're a producing agent who's looking to boost your productivity and enhance your marketing effectiveness, you're in the right place.
Join us as we explore the cutting-edge strategies and insights that are shaping the real estate industry today. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, our expert guests and hosts will share valuable tips and practical advice to help you succeed.
So sit back, tune in, and get ready to elevate your real estate game with the Wired for Real Estate podcast.
Okay, Ian. So our guest we are bringing in, because we're talking about Instagram versus TikTok.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring in somebody that I got to know recently in my city who just became a realtor only a year ago and blew up on TikTok because that's his thing. And I thought, who better to talk about TikTok than Brandon? So Brandon Strasser is coming in and I'm bringing him in right now. There's Brandon.
Hey, everyone.
So Brandon also grew his TikTok following pretty quick. So in I guess in 1 year, you hit over 21,000 followers. Is that what TikTok calls them?
Yeah, followers.
You can tell how familiar I am with the TikTok platform.
What it's called?
Yeah, followers, subscribers. And so Brandon, why don't you tell us, just start it off, maybe tell us why you decided TikTok. You're a brand new agent. Why did you decide I'm going to hop on TikTok versus Instagram? Or are you on both?
So I am on both now. And when I first started, I was on both as well. The reason why I kind of defaulted to TikTok was just based on the amount of growth that I was getting from there. I just found that the organic growth available on TikTok was way more abundant than I've ever seen on Instagram. Even when I'm posting the exact same videos, exact same hashtags and everything, it's just that growth is not there and that viewership is not there on Instagram for me.
So that's just from your observation before you started. You're just like, this is what is working.
Yeah. So I started on both and I defaulted to TikTok because it was growing a lot faster.
So when you spend time consuming content, where do you spend more time?
TikTok, definitely.
Yeah. Do you think that matters? How would I say this? Do you think that's relevant to the demographic?
I think so. I think with TikTok, there's definitely a younger audience there, and the viewership is just a lot more friendly forward, I guess. And getting on the For You page is a lot easier on TikTok.
Friendly? I don't know about friendly. I also
fair. There is
think
some toxicity.
Yeah, the FU page is not always friendly. I don't think that's
FU page.
Well,
I think
there's young, but I think there's also something that I didn't notice was there's older people too. So Mindy, also part of R.E.A.C.H, she's over 50. I think she talked about this last year when I met her at Real Estate Video Blueprint. And I was shocked because I'm like, what? She's on TikTok? Because I had stayed away from it because I'm like, oh, it's for the young kids. I don't want to go on there. And she's on there. And I did a poll on my Facebook, the ancient people's social media, and asked who's on TikTok? And there were a lot of people that are older than me on TikTok and my age. So young and old.
Well, and I think what's relevant to this conversation is there might be a lot of people on the platform, but how many of them are actually doing bigger things, like growing? growing on the platform? Because I know people that have an account and they're not doing anything.
Well, I think
They
they're on
say
the
I'm on.
they're on it to consume. They don't put out.
Well, or they'll put out. They put out. They might put out like 3 videos, and then
this is going so bad.
I know.
Brandon, this is not normally how our podcast goes.
It's fine.
I'm loving it.
It's fine. Can we do the AI thing?
Yeah, we are going to do our normal
thing. You know,
our AI thing. Let's just pull it up here. Okay. So we are going to take a look at, what are we asking it again?
Well, what would be better for a real estate agent to focus on, Instagram or TikTok? So we want to do this on every episode for the people that are listening on maybe on Google Podcasts or Apple Podcasts. We want to check with the AI and see what they're suggesting people focus on if they're getting into real estate now.
As a language model, I do not have personal preferences, opinions, or biases. However, I can provide you with some information that can help you make a decision based on the target audience and marketing goals. And now it's going on to this like whole little ramble thing. So for the people that are not watching, this is the summary. Basically, it's saying they can both be useful for realtors to showcase properties and connect with potential buyers. However, they have different user demographics and content formats. That's an interesting conversation piece, actually.
Yeah.
So
bookmark it.
We will bookmark it. Instagram has a more diverse user base with a higher percentage of users between age 25 to 34 and a more balanced gender distribution. Highly visual platform focused on curated images and short form videos. Stories allow realtors to provide behind the scenes glimpses of properties, blah, blah, blah. TikTok, on the other hand, has a higher, younger use base with over 50% of users aged 18 to 34, a highly engaging platform with short form videos that can be up to 60 seconds long. And their algorithm is designed to promote engaging and entertaining content, which can be a challenge for realtors who want to showcase properties. That's interesting because we'll talk to Brandon about that one. It says if you have younger, more tech savvy, TikTok may be a better platform to focus on. If you're looking to showcase properties in a curated way, then you should go use Instagram, but I don't agree with that. The best platform ultimately is to focus on, depends on your target audience, marketing goals, and type of content you want to create. So Melody Coach says, yeah, there's some validity to it, but I think it's just, first, you know what your marketing goal is. You can use Instagram and TikTok. I don't actually think this is 100% right, but it is an AI. It doesn't know that many things.
Well, the thing that surprised me is that they were referring to gender neutrality in one of the platforms. I think TikTok Instagram was more favorable.
Which I don't agree with. I think Instagram is more female.
Well, I don't know. I've never even considered that disparity between TikTok or Instagram. Huh.
Yeah, well,
it's
an AI model. It has no preferences or bias. It's just telling you. Yeah. It's telling you what it's scanning the internet for, right?
But does it say which side it leans more toward?
On TikTok?
Yeah.
No,
it doesn't. That's some research right there. And you also have to think about it. If we're referring specifically to real estate, for a long time, that was a heavily female-dominated industry, right?
Oh, it says TikTok's user base is predominantly female.
I totally get that. I think over 60% of my followers on TikTok are females, because you can check on TikTok. Like,
women are more fun. Let's be honest.
Like, well, okay, so
we know it.
This is not the topic we're talking about, but to throw in another little thing, most of my followers on YouTube are male. I can't even say the word.
Yeah. Interesting.
It could be also the type of content I put out. Like, I'm very direct.
I absolutely agree.
I think
so. So Brandon, you said you have mostly who following you?
I have over 60% women following me. I think
so. You fit the statistics, okay?
Yeah, I fit the statistics for TikTok. I mean, I think obviously, due to me as a person, and that's another thing that I like about TikTok, is it's very curated at being very well at finding your tribe.
Yes.
So I think when you get followers and you amass a following on TikTok, you can be pretty confident that those people are following you because they enjoy you. Because every single video, I would say like 99% of videos that I have are my face. If you don't like me, you're not following me because you want to hear real estate stuff. You're following me because you want to hear real estate stuff, but you also like me as a person. And I think that's what I love so much about TikTok is it's giving me this ability to connect with people on such a stronger level without actually like meeting them in person. So I can connect with thousands of people on a personal level and still have days where I'm running around connecting with actual clients in person as well.
So Brandon, do you have a YouTube channel at all?
I've recently started one like a month and a half ago. I
Okay.
started kind of posting short form content on there as well.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Why would you go with TikTok versus YouTube Shorts, for example?
One of the main reasons that I don't like YouTube Shorts is that it's time limited to 60 seconds exactly. And you can't have the description as well. Like I think you have to go in and write the description after on your computer if you want like a full description on your videos. If not, you have like 100 characters to write, which can be a little questionable. And I just,
I gotta say something about TikTok's thing. Every time I type on there for a description, it's weird. Like, do you not notice? Maybe you're on TikTok all the time. I'm always like all thumbs. Like somehow I've done typos because I think their keyboard is different.
the keyboard is slightly different than like the regular phone keyboard. It's a bit smaller. So I do it too. Like you really have to be careful because when you're typing really, really fast, it's
Yeah,
easy
it's
to throw random letters.
very annoying.
That's hilarious. I've never noticed that. Uh-oh. Now I got it. Now I'm going to pay attention to that. That's really funny.
One of the reasons I'm not on it. Well, I am on it, but I waited so long because I think interesting, Brandon, that you said you started last year and you saw the traction pick up. Because I think a lot of realtors have been being told, including in the Tom Ferry ecosystem, get on TikTok, get on TikTok. He said get on TikTok in 2019. And I remember that TikTok conversation. Was it Jeremy? Who was it?
It was absolutely not. And wait, tell me what you're about to say, and I'll tell you if it was.
Well, it was a talk on TikTok and why you should be on it. And this was at the Elite Retreat in 2019. And I just remember I'm so done with this. I left because I'm like, no, I don't want to do anything to do with TikTok.
Yeah.
And then
No, Jeremy still isn't on TikTok. He does not
Okay.
believe in it as a platform. So it was not him. That's why I was like, wait a minute. No.
I know. Well, some young kid also was on the stage talking about TikTok. And so last year when we went to Video Blueprint, I thought, okay, if Mindy's on there, I'm going to go on there and I'll try it in the last quarter of the year because my goal is to stay focused. And the last quarter, I try new things and I look at things and whatnot. And I tried it for a whole couple weeks and I'm like, this is not what it is. And then everyone was saying that the algorithms have changed and it's not as easy as it was a few years ago. Is that true? You
They've
find that,
definitely
Brendan?
changed. Like even
Oh, it's
now,
changed.
I think it's all shifting. I think all social media platforms as a whole are really, really shifting. And I'm not getting the same amount of views as I get when I first started. I think there's a little bit of a default, maybe a little bit of a handicap when you first start, where they try to push out your content if you are consistent and they want you to see that growth and that elevation because then you're more likely
Consistent as in like multiple videos a day or one a day or like what's consistent in TikTok world?
when I first started, I was doing like 2, 3, 4 videos a day, like
Right?
nonstop.
I know.
And even now, like I'm still doing like 2 videos a day. I've posted every single day on TikTok for the last 365 days. Every single day, I've not missed a single
And there's
day.
the 21,000 and a half followers
Yeah.
because of that. And that's why I was like, that is insane. Now, okay, let's talk about what realtors really want to know. Are there actually clients that reach out to you, or is it just a bunch of people who want to follow you?
I get a lot of clients. 100% of my business is from, I'm not 100% anymore, but I would say like 95% of my business is from TikTok. And
That's
I
huge.
mean, Q1, I was in top 25 for real in Canada for transactions. So obviously something's working. I think that there's a fine line though with TikTok because I see a lot of realtors getting on TikTok recently, and they're posting house tours, they're doing things, but they're not connecting. I think the thing with TikTok is what I love so much is it's that connection that you build because it's a video. You get to see people's personalities more on TikTok and people can connect with it. And I'm not afraid to talk to people on TikTok. I have Like, I mean, not full on fights, but like I've argued with people in my comments before because I'm standing by what I'm saying, because I'm making content that I'm passionate about. And that passion is showing towards other people. So other people that are following me that are potential clients, they're seeing that I'm not just throwing random stuff out into the like world hoping that I get clients. Like, I'm caring about my content. I'm caring about what I'm doing.
So I'm going to ask this question. What type of content are you using? Because I know you have both Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah.
And they perform differently. So what are you finding works well for you on Instagram, or sorry, TikTok and not Instagram?
I do a lot of house tours. So I post like a lot of like one shot house tours where I introduce it like a selfie mode, like this is what $500,000 gets you in Edmonton, Alberta. And then I go through it, I speed it up, I slow it down. On Instagram, what I've seen with realtor stuff is that specific type of content doesn't trend as well. I find that Instagram Reels, if you're posting houses, it's a lot of like luxury houses that kind of blow up on there, and there are a lot of like b-roll stuff where it's like, look at this quick little fancy kitchen, and then look at that backyard, and then look at these staircases, and then you go into the primary bedroom. It's not so much of a full house tour that takes like a full minute. It's a lot of like trending sounds, b-roll, beautiful. And that's what I find is a lot of Instagram is just that like beautiful face. Everyone wants to be envious on Instagram, I feel almost.
Do you get clients from Instagram?
I've had a few recently because my videos on Instagram, I get probably around like 1,000 views per video now. So I'm kind of growing a little bit more on Instagram. I've had, I think, 2 or 3 clients reach out to me from Instagram.
Are you posting the same videos on both platforms?
Exactly the same.
Yeah. So there were a couple things that you said in there I wanted to kind of break down. So one, you talk about being able to engage. It's fairly recently that TikTok even allowed you to do messages, direct messages to people, where Instagram's had that for a far longer. So that was the first point that I wanted to talk about. The second one is you can go viral from comments on TikTok. So if you're engaging and that comment is spicy, then that comment can bring new life to that
comments.
Huh?
How do you keep up? Like, I have one video that went viral. You can't keep up with the comments. There's like,
yeah, but if you do though, but it doesn't even have to be a viral video.
But it doesn't have to be you that keeps up with the comments. It's just the comment section doing its own thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. One of my best comments, that the comment itself went viral. Some guy was watching a video where I was talking about things that were wrong with the house. And he goes, hey, look, a realtor that actually knows what he's talking about. And then there were just comment. And the video kept getting views because the comment kept getting promoted.
Yeah.
It was very interesting.
That's not like that on Instagram. I wanted to show, how come I can't get this on here? I pulled up Brandon's actual TikTok. And if I could share it, oh, there we go. So, Brandon, you're talking about, which one were you talking? These ones.
Yes.
So are these the ones that you get clients from, or is there specific ones that you get clients from?
I would say, yeah, like these ones. I think so. I always say that there's a tier when you're doing house tours. There's always like a tier of what you're looking for. There are luxury mansions, and I say that those are like show off. Like those are kind of like view bait videos. If you do like a luxury house, everyone's gonna look at it because people want to see it. People are envious. Then there's kind of your average house, which will be sitting around the average price of your city's.
You will not believe that this home is
kind of like your city's average house. And, you know, those ones are really good at getting clients because those are the ones that obviously people are looking to purchase brand new homes for around $500,000. You don't see that too much in Canada. Then there's the ones that are going to give you a mass amount of clients. And those are like really, really affordable little like unicorn houses, essentially, where if you find a house that's decent for like $300,000, you're going to get so many views on that. And you're going to get so many people reaching out to you on those videos. The one thing that I will say though is I like to sit in that middle one the most, that they're not going viral. You're getting a solid amount of leads because those are more serious leads. The really, really cheap houses, you get a lot of people that are more interested in just like, oh, I didn't even know that I could afford a home. I think that I'm going to buy that, but they haven't done the work to prepare themselves and their family to actually buy a house. So it's a long process with that.
You're talking about comments. I can't see them, but I can see there's 75 comments on this.
So if you scroll down on that, can you not scroll down?
Oh, there. Yes, I can scroll down. So then you can see there are people just getting annoyed at the price because it's $3.3 million. Where is this?
Yeah. And it depends, like it's comment by comment. So you actually showed one of my videos that did really, really well really early. And it was, I think it was 600 and that one right
This
there,
one?
Stony Plain.
Yeah.
So this one right here, if you look at the comments,
Yes.
so you get a lot of people who are like, oh, he only said only, because in that video I said for only 625,000, and people were like going crazy about the fact that I said only, and they were like, you don't understand like the prices, like there's a I don't know, and everyone was just like going crazy, and that comment was bringing people back to have this discussion because somebody called me out for saying only, and then other people were like, this is a great priced house, like in Ontario this is like $2 million. In Vancouver, this is this. So having that comment engagement is really, really good.
Ian, I think he has some questions. Or Ian has questions for you.
I was like, Brandon, you have questions for me? What would you like to know? I don't.
Well, and Brandon, Ian's also on TikTok. Don't look at mine. I'm also on TikTok, but like, Ian does different styles. So his are more. Let's see, Ian of Austin.
You know better. You know it is. It's
TikTok.
Ian of Austin everywhere.
So his are a different style. Oh, this is that one about the construction, right?
Yeah. So I kind of followed similarly in that I spent my first larger amount of time on YouTube, and that started growing and bringing clients. And then I switched to TikTok, and I was like, okay, well, this is fun. And I ignored Instagram because kind of the same reasons you were talking about, Brandon. And I thought, you know what? I still need to be able to DM people. You can't do that on YouTube or on TikTok. So let me just go ahead and do Instagram. And I realized there are a lot of realtors on Instagram. And I think it's because of the demographic thing, right? And so I wasn't focused on it because I wasn't targeting conversations with realtors. And then I just had this epiphany one day, and it's like, wait a minute, realtors also have clients too?
Yeah.
And so now that I've been focusing on Instagram, my growth is a lot slower than it was on TikTok. Now, granted, I stopped posting on TikTok, but I grew very rapidly there. And then when I hopped on Instagram, it's slow going, but I get so many referrals now from Instagram that it's almost like the same type of business.
I still fight between I have a constant battle with Instagram because it's like, is this a branding play or am I actually going to get clients from it? Because a lot of my sphere are on Instagram.
Instagram's changed recently, and Brandon, I'd love you to speak to this, but they now have this recommendation engine or algorithm where TikTok has had that from the beginning. That's what made it so good. YouTube was always, you search for this will show up.
Well, this is new. What's this?
Oh, location based, I believe. That's what it looks like based on the icon.
This is Explore.
Oh, it could also be, is that, I have no idea.
You added, I think it's this one, you can kind of click your preferences. So if you're interested in like sports or art or something like that, you can explore outside of your For You page and explore like different things that you may be interested in.
Yeah, it needs me to log in if I want to go for
I love that you said that, because my first thought was physical location. Because so do you tag your locations when you're putting videos out?
I do on Instagram. I don't on TikTok.
Interesting.
Why is that?
I honestly don't have the ability to. TikTok is weird in that sense, where TikTok like different accounts have different allowances, I guess. I never got the ability unlocked to give me location in Edmonton.
Somebody's watching you.
Yeah, right.
They're like, we're not gonna give them that one. We'll give you this and this and this, not that one. I just got one today from TikTok. Today, they said, hey, you're one of the first people that are gonna get access to selling merch directly through TikTok. And I was like,
that's cool.
I haven't even put shirts on there yet, but guess what? That's gonna
I have the 10-minute video unlocked. So
nice.
I can do 10-minute videos on TikTok.
So do you do lives?
I used to. So this was a big thing when I first started. I was live all the time. Like I used to go live like at least every other day, and it would be decent, like a couple hundred people in there.
Okay.
I found that that was a terrible way of me getting clients, though. Honestly, a lot of it was just like, I'm not gonna lie, it was a lot of thirsty people getting in my DMs and stuff and just
Oh
being really,
my.
really
But
weird.
what's cool about it is it gives you watch time, which now they care more about,
So they're
and it
playing
gives
like a
you
YouTube game.
exactly. So that's where the 10 minutes comes in. That's
Yeah.
where the watch time comes in, and then being able to have like the certain monetary things come from having gone live so long.
Yeah.
So I think that's good. That's probably one reason why you have extra unlocks, but not the location though. I don't know why.
I think it's
Yeah.
interesting that all the social media platforms just want to be like everyone else. They can't just stay
They don't though.
focused on their thing, right?
That-
Instagram wants to be like TikTok. TikTok wants to be like YouTube. YouTube wants to be like TikTok. Like, just stay in your lane.
So I equate this to realtors. I feel like every realtor sees what other realtors are doing to bring them success. And
Yeah.
it's not that they want to be like the other realtor, it's that they want to be as successful
Right.
as the other realtor. And I think the platforms are vying for that, struggling for that same level of attention. It's so hard to get people's attention. So we talked about this. I'm in Austin, Texas. There's 20,000 realtors and a population of like 2 million.
That's insane.
It's
Now, the one
insane.
thing that I will say about that, and I don't know, maybe you can actually talk about this because I had this question, because I feel like I deal with this when I look at other people's content is, we're Melody and we're in Edmonton. The Edmonton is not a global city. Like the globe doesn't, like the world doesn't have their eyes on Edmonton real estate. It's pretty, I would say, national right now, but even nationally speaking, it's more Calgary.
They always talk
So
about Calgary, Vancouver, and Toronto. They never
yeah.
include
So
Edmonton.
I find that in Austin, I follow a few realtors, including yourself, from Texas. And those videos, like you can post like just anything I find. And it because it's such a large house and it's so cheap, like there's so many people that like want to see it because you get tons of Canadians. Like even my comments, I get comments like this would be $300,000 in Texas. So do you find that there's that like advantage because of the place that you're selling is kind of a global stage for real estate?
I really don't like that question, but I also like it because that's the truth bomb that people need to hear. And Austin is a very desirable place for a bunch of reasons. And it's almost always a controversial place too, because it's the type of city it is inside of the type of state it is. But then the type of state, like just yesterday, Elon Musk announced that they're going to build the lithium factory in Texas, not in Austin, but in Texas, not too far. And so he's like he's a controversial figure in Austin. So yeah, so all that to say, there is some strength in having the association, but I think what that does is breeds more competition.
I
Everyone
also
thinks
think it
that
gives you not necessarily the right clients watching you. Because if someone's searching Edmonton, they're obviously searching it for a reason. Versus Austin, Texas, it's like, oh, this is interesting. The house is so cheap here, but they're not necessarily looking to move there potentially. Like you get a lot of hits.
I think what happens, so people move, there's this my quote, people move for love or money. It can always be boiled down to one of those two things. And so if they can find a house that's cheap enough and then they don't hate where they'd be moving to, they'll make that sacrifice. Or if there's family there, or if they can latch on to some reason to make that decision, if they can justify it,
Right.
then they might take the chance. They've got the courage to do so. And so Austin is one of those places where if you look at all the places specifically in the United States, first off, a lot of people are like, I got to go south because I hate the weather, right? So they want to go south. You have a lot of people that think that way. It's usually the grass is greener philosophy, right? People that are hot by nature, they always want to go north, right? So I'm from
We're hot,
Chicago,
Brandon.
and yeah, I'm from Chicago, which is, I swear, it's colder than Alberta and Edmonton. I
No,
don't know. It's freaking
never.
cold and windy. Your nose hairs would freeze and break off, and you're like, "Oh my gosh!"
That's Edmonton. in like,
Is it?
And then 30 minutes later, it's plus 30 degrees Celsius.
Yeah. Well,
Facts.
yeah. So, well, shoot, it was hailing last week in Texas, and
was
it's
hailing yesterday
93
here.
degrees today. Yeah, but it's 93 degrees. And it was
I don't
hailing.
know. We're
the
digressing. But anyway,
yeah, okay, sorry.
I think,
So yeah, I think there's a draw to Texas as a whole, and then Austin ends up being one of those places that's a little of everything. I think the algorithms talked about diversity a little bit. I think that's an important component when you're considering where you're going to live based on love and money conversation.
so I'm going to and change the topic here for a second. Instagram Reels and TikTok compare in terms of their video editing and effects.
Ooh,
You guys
that's a
can both speak
phenomenal
to
one.
that.
Brandon, go.
Yeah.
I actually used to edit all my videos in TikTok. I stopped as soon as I started posting on all platforms, because I do YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, and TikTok now. I now do everything in CapCut. So I do all of my editing outside of CapCut. Some people say it affects my views, but
Bro,
I don't have time.
I have some good news for you. Announced 2 days ago, I think 2 days ago. Now TikTok will allow you to save your videos no watermark.
Really?
Like that. But
See,
is that
So
post?
you can still go back.
After
No,
posting
before you post it. So like when you would go to save it as a draft, because yes, they were very protective of it. They wanted you to share it, but they always had the watermark attached. But now you can hit as you're going to upload it, you can choose save as draft, download the video before posting it with no watermark.
But it still knows.
But for Brandon, he stopped editing on TikTok because that was too much of a hassle to get the watermark off, worried about the compression, and then putting it on the other apps. And so now I'm saying, hey, you might be able to go back,
but
and
that's
then
the
still
question.
get the growth on TikTok and still post it to your other
Brandon
platform.
said, "Oh, does it affect my views?" When I did that one video that did really well, I actually had my kid edit that video just in TikTok, and it did way better than us because I like to repurpose content, and so using the content from that I grabbed that I off of YouTube that goes into Instagram, that goes into TikTok, those did not do as well. And the weird thing is, my kid he said Mom, this doesn't make any sense. One of the videos I did had really poor lighting, but I'm progress over perfection. So I just put it up because I'm like, I'm not ever scripted and I don't know how to redo this. So we'll just throw up the content. And it did really well, but it did better on, I can't remember which one, but one will do better on Instagram and then one will do better on TikTok and vice versa. It's very weird. I was trying to do like Glenda Baker is big on TikTok, right? And
she's also big on Instagram because her followers are what are they? Groupies. Like they do not leave her side. It doesn't matter where she goes.
Right. And she's got a lot of views, a lot of clients, and all her videos are talking head videos, which is to me super duplicatable because I don't have to go to a house and film it. No.
For Glenda is a storyteller.
Yes, she is a storyteller.
If she didn't have her stories and then always the branding with the glitz and the glam, she is over the top, and that's how she is in person, and she just brings that to the screen.
And her accent and everything. Well,
and the accent and the colloquialisms. You cannot mistake a good colloquialism. Oh my stars. Like nobody says that in real life. And then you see her and she's like, oh my stars. Like she's actually saying it. Like, okay, all right.
Yes. But I think that actually goes towards, who are you as a person, as a realtor? Who are you? Don't even think about social media. Think about who you are as a person, what you enjoy doing, who you enjoy hanging out with, what things do you like? Don't go, oh, well, Ian does this and Brandon does this, so I should do those things. It's more of what's your brand? Who are you? And then go, does TikTok fit what I'm trying to put out? That sounds bad, but you know what I mean? Does Instagram fit my branding before you just go, well, I'm going to take Instagram and do that thing?
There was a moment on TikTok that I truly felt as though I had like made it, as cringy as that sounds. And so like a lot of my TikTok house tours and city advocacy, I am the biggest advocate for moving to Edmonton because I did it. I moved from Toronto to Edmonton. I did that like, I lived in the big city. I moved to the smaller, cheaper place to live. And everyone used to talk mad crap about Edmonton. And I got on and I was like, Edmonton's a really cool place. I did it. And when I would talk about that, so many people would engage. And I felt like I made it when people now tag me in other videos. So this is what I love about TikTok too, is because duetting and stuff is there's so much of that. So people want to know your opinion. So there'll be people like Fresh Daily, whatever, or different videos of different realtors, and people will tag me in that, and they want to hear my opinion on this other person's opinion because they know that I align with what they think, and they want to know how I would react to that. I think that is a big thing on TikTok that, in my opinion, is not so much on Instagram. You don't see duets on Instagram. You don't see these like creators actually interacting with one another. It's more like,
I
this
do
is my
see it.
business account. You see that it on
That's what
Instagram?
I do. That's all I do now.
Jesse
Oh, really?
Peters is another realtor with Real at Winnipeg. He does it.
But
He
I think it's
reacts.
more of like an intentional business thing on Instagram. If that like the people who are doing it as all of their content. You know, it's like
Right.
their content is reacting to other people's content. Whereas on TikTok, it's like you can just react to somebody's random thing like randomly because people want to hear your opinion on what they're saying. Your content
Right.
isn't so much reaction
TikTok,
based.
TikTok sounds like a lot of time. Like, how much time do you
Oh,
put in
yeah.
a day?
I put so much time into it. Like, it is literally a full-time job for me.
Yeah,
And
but
that's why I struggled
you
to get
said
on
it's a
other.
full-time job, but you're making full-time job money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think that's what people need to understand, right? With anything, whether it's TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, whatever it is, you have to put in the time. You can't just expect, oh, I'll just pop on there for an hour and do my thing and then move on. I mean, it's like your phone calls. You can't just like make one phone call and expect you're going to have like 500 listings. You didn't even make the calls. You didn't do the work. So there's a question here, and I know Ian popped in that answered it, but I don't know who this name. I don't know. Olit.
Olit. It's a good name.
Brandon's actually from Edmonton. So if you're watching from Edmonton, yes, he's getting lead generation here. And I also think too, okay, so Brandon's in Edmonton, I'm in Edmonton. So are we competitors? I don't think so, because we attract our own vibe, right? The clients that work with Brandon are probably not going to work with me and vice versa, just because we're all different people. We're wired differently. That's why I'm like, you have to think collab minded and just be open to what it is. Like, be comfortable. I'm not going to pretend to be like Brandon. I'm not going to pretend that I moved from Toronto to Edmonton. That doesn't make any sense.
We have someone like that here in Austin that's doing that.
That's pretending that they moved to Austin?
Man, they say, oh, we're an Austin native, but they left for 18 years. So they were born here and then they didn't live here for most of their life. And now they're back and they're like, well, I'm a realtor and I'm a local. And it's like,
They came back when it was cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Talk about the fact that you left and came back. Like, why wouldn't you just own it? Like, I talk about I'm born and raised in Edmonton. So of course I'm going to be biased. But because I'm born and raised here, I have a lot of opinions about all the things that Edmontonians would have opinions about. So I did try on TikTok to do something like that. But
Edmontonians, that needs to be written somewhere. You got to use that in marketing. Is that a normal thing? Do people say that?
Yeah, that's what we're called.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know,
well, to me, that's a new word. I'm like, Edmontonian.
What do you call people in Austin?
We're Austinites. And if you're my client, you're an Ian of Austinite. But that's not the point. The point is Edmonton.
Yeah, no, there's no Edmontonites. It's just
that one question that we did get. I just wanted to add a little bit to that answer is, yes, obviously I get leads from TikTok. But what I have seen from people in my sphere as well, and like friends that are other realtors, there is something that benefits me that makes it really hard now is I was one of the first. Like, truthfully, in Edmonton, I was probably the first like realtor to really get on TikTok and push it like every single day, pushing content, real estate content. So there is actually, even now, I get people who message me saying, and they'll DM me with videos from other realtors in Edmonton and be like, hey, I'm interested in this house, or I'm interested in buying a house. I saw this video. Can you help me? Because I was the original. I'm the one with the, I guess, the following there. So I'm more trusted by default.
But you can still make an entrance. I 100% understand what you're saying with the thing. But if realtors are watching and going, well, is there even a point for me to go on TikTok? If you can put the time in, then do it. But I think if you can't put the time in, like I have it there just because I already produce content, right? So I'm like, I do the content already for YouTube, Instagram, whatever. I'll just throw it on. We haven't even been consistent on throwing it onto TikTok because to me, I'm just there. So people, if they want to find me, they can find me. But really, I live on Instagram. I don't live on TikTok. Like stories on Insta, because are there stories for TikTok? No.
Yeah, you can do stories on
Well, you
TikTok,
can't
but
do
they are not good. Nobody really does them, in my opinion.
Maybe no one does them. Isn't that an opportunity to like show up in front of everybody?
I tried them. They honestly get very low views. Even people with millions of followers, when they post a story, very, very low views. I think the best thing for stories is like if you are a content creator with a large following, it's kind of like, hey, what do you want to see? Do you want to see this type of video or this type of video? It's more like question based. I did want to add, like, I'm not saying don't join TikTok. It's more like if you're going to join TikTok, TikTok loves to push uniqueness and loves to push like something that makes you you. So if you are going to join, don't follow me or follow Melody or follow Ian and say, I'm going to do exactly that. I mean, if you're in Edmonton, then maybe, yeah, follow what Ian's doing because no one's doing that in Edmonton. You can't just pick up my content and start posting it. You really have to show who you are and what makes you unique, or it's always just going to be kind of like it just doesn't make you special. And TikTok loves people to be individuals.
So I had a good strategy for it when I first started. I wanted to do, you're from Edmonton one because no one was doing it. And it was a way to showcase that I was from Edmonton because my videos are only going to make sense to people who live here. So Ian would have no idea when I say, you're from Edmonton when you have an opinion about the silver balls. Like it makes no sense to Ian, but like anybody who lives here knows exactly what I am talking about. And everyone has an opinion.
But that's intriguing because I would be like, what the heck is this girl talking about? Silver balls. I got to click it. I got to click. I got to know what she's talking about.
Yeah.
So there's that. But I think so there's
a
positive and a negative.
But I also was not as consistent as Brandon.
Well, there's a positive and a negative because if I saw that and then I didn't like what I saw, like, oh, it's that, I don't care. Then I would never watch it again. And like if I followed you, now I'm actually hurting your algorithm, right? So I
got all my followers from that stupid you're from Edmonton when people don't know how to drive on the first day of winter. And it just like blew up. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like all these people keep following me because of this. And then someone was complaining like, oh, she's a realtor and this is the only video she does well. And I'm like, oh my, like this is just, I can't handle that. And I think that's something to bring up too, is the audience with TikTok. Do you interact with a lot of your sphere on TikTok, Brandon? Because like for me, I don't find I interact with my sphere on TikTok. I definitely interact with my sphere on Instagram, especially stories. Because stories is who's following you, right?
I think I get a lot of comments, like reoccurring comments. So the people who follow me who are maybe not looking to buy a house now, but looking to buy a house in a couple years or so, they are commenting on pretty much every single one of my videos. So I definitely have like big fans there, but I do agree that there's not as much like friendly interaction because even when I post an Instagram story, that gets a lot more attention from my sphere. But I don't think it's so much like client-based sphere. I think it's more like friends and stuff. And eventually they might become clients, but it's a lot of realtors that are interacting with my stuff. I think like 50% of my followers on Instagram are other realtors in the city. And so I'm like, what am I actually gaining from that?
Well, like Ian said, they've got clients.
They have clients
and refer me clients from Edmonton to Edmonton.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Wait. How large is Edmonton?
We have about a little over 1 million people in Edmonton and greater area.
Like distance from the far end of either side. Like how far is that drive?
Most realtors here work everywhere.
45 minutes. I'll tell you this, Brandon. I have given away clients within Edmonton. It's not impossible. Yeah,
well, I think that's another part of it. Like if you have a client that you just do not work well with, or you just don't have the capacity to work with, or I'll give a great example. I don't
specialize in condos.
There you go. Yeah, I've got a woman on our team. She on my team. She has she has a sped child and worked for the school district. And I'm like, oh my God, please take these people because they had a sped child and they were looking for good schools for their kids that I don't even want to pretend to know anything about that world. Like I want to learn, but I don't know. Like, let me connect you
Now,
with
not
somebody who's
all
really an
realtors
expert.
are going to be like Ian. There are realtors in Edmonton that are very like protective of their own, but that's not even a city thing. It's just a mentality thing in terms of, hey, I'm not the best fit for you. You should go somewhere else. Because let's be honest, there are people that are just going to pretend that they're the best fit for the person, even if they're not.
Yeah,
That's just
like
the
I've
reality.
given away leads as well. Like I don't really do acreages. I don't feel comfortable representing a buyer and like knowing the questions to ask when dealing with an acreage. So I don't do out of city limits because I know that I wouldn't be able to represent them. And I've given away those leads before. I've just never been given like a local. Like from Calgary, I get lots of referrals from Calgary, like Calgary agents and stuff like that, sending up, and that's great. But
So I'm curious about the platform because in my mind, this also counts as like an unintentional referral opportunity. Do you get shares, a lot of shares of your content where people will take and send it to others?
Can you do that on TikTok?
You can do it
yes.
on everything.
Yeah, so that's one of the main things that really pushes the algorithm. I find that the videos with a lot of shares are the ones that blow up. So I get a lot of shares, like on my videos. Like I would say at least, and it's not a huge amount, but I would say at least every single home tour that I get probably has like at least 50 to 100 shares, which is good because it's
Can I ask you, is it on the
50
house
to
tour one?
100.
Yeah.
That's a big number for
Hey, Brandon,
shares.
house
Yeah, like
tours,
people just sharing it.
house tours, or your other stuff?
House tours.
Okay.
My talking head videos do like decently well, but I think I'm transitioning more into that right now to kind of show more value-based content. Um, and they're doing decently well. Like I just did one talking about like how to be a better buyer and like multiple offers and stuff. And I think it's at like 5,000. I posted it last night. It's at like 5,000 views right now. It's got a bunch of comments. But one thing that I will say about the comments with TikTok is it's definitely not for like I guess like weak at heart. People are mean. People
I'm
can
not
be
weak at heart, but I still can't handle that crap.
It's just like people can be very, very mean and they don't care. On TikTok, it's like the Wild West. They will call you out and they will bully you in a sense, which is awful. But I think that's where you can almost take advantage of that and
It's like it
leverage
heard
that.
me say, can I share? And the thing just popped up and said, share this video.
They're watching.
They're
You gave it mic access, right? So that
I
you could
don't know.
talk.
I was trying to find the share option on here because I just see a heart, the
So
comments, and the
it's in the
bookmark.
dots. You see the dots at the bottom?
But I'm just trying to see how many people have sent it.
I think you can only see that on other people's, I think.
You can't see it on your own.
You have to go into your algorithm, like
So
your
Yeah,
if
then
you're
you'd have to go in your
is
analytics.
bookmarking better than sharing, or is it the same?
Ooh, that's an interesting question.
I find that sharing works a little better for pushing the algorithm. Bookmarking is good because it means that people will come back and watch it, and that's
36 people bookmarked that stupid video.
so at the very bottom. You might be able to see what it is. I don't know.
Pardon?
Yours looks different than mine.
Well, I'm not as advanced as you, so maybe
Well, pull it
that's
up on
why.
the desktop on the screen.
So like right there at the bottom, can you see that? You see that little? Oh my god, it's so blurry. But like this thing right there, that's the share. Oh shoot, what am I clicking?
You just went
Oh, I
live.
see the share button, but
No,
I
no,
just
that's
don't see
like
how
your
many
share.
times.
So that's my video. So you can't really see it very well, but that's like 34 shares.
Oh, it shows you that.
It's like a little arrow at the bottom. It's like
I
Yeah,
see
that's-
the arrow, but I just don't see my shares. Maybe I have 0 shares, and that's why. I'm just trying to let
might be the
anyone
case.
who is listening trying to figure out where would they find their shares. If you go into TikTok and you go into your video and you click your video, on the right-hand side, you've got your profile picture, the hearts, the comments, the bookmark.
so. Just
And
go
then
to analytics at the bottom. Like you see more
I
data
don't
at
see
the very bottom
analytics.
there.
I don't even have that
So
analytics
that's the
button.
amount of plays. That's the amount of shares, and that's more data.
Okay, so clearly I just don't have it. So on the bottom of mine, it just says 63,000 views. So then right there would say shares, right? If you have shares.
Yeah, right beside that, it would say shares.
So it's just not shares.
Another cool thing, actually, you just reminded me, showing, and the reason why I love TikTok is because they recently went to that like more SEO thing. So on video content, so like for instance, this house, I was doing like just like a little trick on like home buying essentially to save some money on your offer. At the top there on your search button, you have like a search there. So this right here is showing what other people are searching. So for instance, off of this video, I can see that people are watching this video and then they're typing out tips for buying a house. So then I can target my next bit of content because people are actively searching for that. So what you want to do in your next videos is like actually say that, like, here's a tip for buying a house.
And you can't actually influence that. TikTok just puts that on there.
No, it's based on what other people are typing.
Right. So like if your video says find related content, it means that it doesn't have a topic.
It means that people aren't searching directly from your video. So if you look at on your video, you'll have like a search button here. So if people are watching your video, then clicking that search button and typing things in, it'll start like allocating that to the top of your video.
So when they're watching your video, then they hit search.
Yes.
Mine all just sadly just say find related content because it's no one's searching anything. I mean, I don't have much of I have a whole 145 people on here. A small little gathering. However, that being said, as a realtor, let's not dilute the fact that 145 people, just think about that in a context of a room. When you're standing in front of a room of 145 people, it's still a good sized room. It's not like you're talking to 3. So it's not horrible. And I think that's something with agents when they're starting off with TikTok, don't get completely discouraged. I mean, it is hard not to get wrapped up in these vanity metrics of, oh, I only have 244 views on here. This sucks. I don't have 20,000 or 100,000 or 900,000. But to me, it's always been about, are you getting clients? What is your strategy for TikTok? What is your strategy for Instagram? Know what your purpose is. And if you're accomplishing your purpose, I don't think your purpose should ever be high view count. Maybe that's an unpopular opinion.
No, I completely agree with you. So for instance, I filmed an acreage a couple months ago and it's still trending, like it's got hundreds of thousands of views. I gained 0 clients from that, but people liked it. I posted a house 2 days ago. It was a really nice house, 550,000. It has 4,000 views. I have shown the house to 3 people. I have gained 3 clients from it, and 2 of them are actively in the process of putting offers in with the same builder in it. We're just trying to figure out the lots right now. So honestly, some of my lowest count videos have given me the best clients because it's hitting people that are actually interested in it rather than going viral. One of the worst things that can happen to you later in your TikTok career is being put on the For You page. You want people to find you through searches. You want people to find you through the hashtags that you're using, not just like on your For You page, because those people are just, they don't care. They're just, it's getting put on their video and they're going to comment on the house and they're going to say whether they like it or not.
I think you hit the nail on the head. Is like, if you are just trying to get that viral video, it just makes your ego feel good, but it's not necessarily going to make your pocketbook feel good because, like you said, it's going to be like random people all over the place liking your video, but they're not necessarily looking to buy or sell. You talk about buyers on TikTok. Is that what you're seeing mostly? Do you see buyer and seller leads, or do you see primarily one over the other?
When I first started, it was 100% buyers.
Recently, and maybe because of the videos you're posting, because you're posting.
Yeah, I'm posting like, this is what you can get. So like, I think it's just, I'm piquing the interest of a lot of people that are in the market with houses that are $800,000 for 500 square feet. But in Edmonton, it's not like that. So I'm piquing the interest of people that want to actually buy a house. I've started doing more like talking head things, and I have been getting a lot more people recently reaching out about selling their house. I think TikTok leads in general, though, are slow moving. Most of them are very slow moving clients. These are clients that you're.
I think TikTok, they're there for entertainment.
Yeah.
So they're there to kind of like be entertained. And I mean, Ian also has YouTube, right? And for me, I find my YouTube channel, they've searched for how to buy a house in Edmonton. What is the cost of living in it? They're a lot more intentional. And that's where I've been focusing most of my efforts on. I took a break from it because it was like too much. It was giving me too much, which is hilarious. You can't even take a break from it. Like YouTube will continue pushing out your stuff, regardless of if it's like top notch quality. And I know that's an unpopular opinion in the real world because there's a lot of produced videos, and I'm the girl that gets videos done with my phone. And that's how my YouTube channel blew up. It was just me being consistent on video. It wasn't about the lighting, the sound. Well, sound is important, but like I didn't have no fancy camera. I didn't spend 50 hours a video editing it. Like I just did the thing, right? The guy also, I don't know whoever Olit is. I wish I knew your name because it feels weird to call him Olit.
Pull it up on the screen.
He said, "What do you guys use to film TikToks for home?" Brandon, yeah, the
My
phone.
phone.
And when I did YouTube, I didn't even have this fancy one. I had the old school, like the X, just the one that had two.
Right.
Now I will say, so fun fact.
One more.
Regardless what everyone says about, iPhone versus Android or whatever, Android phones are better quality. iPhone is known to post better social media content. It is like it's an actual like tech fact. If your camera's
we
better
will have
on your
another
Android,
podcast about iPhone versus Android. I'm sure that's going to come.
We don't need it. We don't need it. It's fine.
Ian used to be an Android user and now he's an iPhone user, but I feel like it's very begrudging.
I see a question in our chat, which I'm very passionate about, so I kind of wanted to address that.
Chat?
There's one versus price versus mystery.
Oh, that's yours. You can click that because I can't see that.
Okay.
That's a private. I wanted to. I was putting in the private chat. I was putting comments about things that I wanted to discuss.
No, I know. I wanted to discuss that though. I just like popped up, and I'm very passionate about this.
Oh, good. Well, hit it. So yeah, I guess the question would be, why do you feel it's better if you put the price of the home versus not putting the price of the home? Like, does that change the engagement, or why do you do that? What's the psychology behind that?
So it's the purpose of what you're posting. It's what you're posting for and the purpose that you want. If you want engagement, you're going to do mystery price. If you want people to have like everlasting content and you want people to be able to go on your page and be like, okay, my budget is $550,000. You can scroll through my page and you can see every single video that's in your budget. So I'm a realtor to them. I have created that relationship.
So I would say that I agree until what happened was, this is an experience, is I had a video that did very well and I priced, it was a $300,000 house that you could get in Austin. It was a 4-bed, 2,500 square feet, like crazy gorgeous house, right? For 300,000. And that was legit. It was right before the pandemic. And so then all the prices started skyrocketing. And so today, like even today, I'm still getting people watching that video looking for a $300,000 house. It does not exist in this area at all. And so they're like, whoa, I saw your video. It's like, oh, did you see the date on the video? So it gets.
I agree with that.
Prices do change, and Brandon's done some videos of some of my listings, and I'm like, sorry, I don't have a price yet. Or if the price changes, that's why I do not like having it. I mean, a thumbnail is super easy to change, but when you're talking in the video, that's not so easy to change because you don't want to take the video down.
That's actually a really good point. What if it's just like the cover? I never even considered that. Wow.
I'll just do
the thumbnail, but I won't say the price in the video.
I always say the price. I think it's kind of like my thing. People expect it. When I've tried to do some mystery ones, and people are like, "Where's the price?" And I see
that's where you can use. Realtors use this as a lead capture.
Oh yeah,
so it's an opportunity to send a private message to start a conversation off of the comments, right? So it's just a different strategy in terms of what a realtor wants to do. I don't think it's a right or wrong. It's how do you want to interact with the client, really?
I just think especially on TikTok, I will say on TikTok, it's very hard to capture a comment into a DM because it's not as free flowing.
Mhm.
So, like if somebody comments on my video saying, I'm interested, can you give me more information? I don't have the ability to DM them. They can message me, and you have to change your privacy settings to be able to receive messages, which a lot of just random consumers don't do that. So, in my opinion, when people are asking what is the price, I am wasting time. I'm wasting my time going and answering that comment. So when I first started, I didn't give as much information. I didn't give the amount of bedrooms, the square footage, all of that stuff, because I was under the impression that like people are going to comment and then that'll drive my algorithm because I'll have more engagement on my video. And what I was finding is it was so consuming to constantly be on there answering the square footage, putting 1995 like 300 times on your video is just a waste of time. And then people don't go through and read the comments of the other people. So they're just on there and most of my comments are like, yeah, what is this? What is that? And I'm like, I don't have time for that. I'm going to give it all up front. If you're interested in this house, you're going to message me and want to see it. And that's how I capture clients.
See, I think on Instagram, because you're able to do it. Here's a question though. Can you then, are you finding people who are how do they contact you from TikTok if they're your clients? Because the DMs is not so frequent. Do they just directly reach out to you, or do they go onto TikTok or another social media platform to actually reach out to you? Because I know for my YouTube channel, people will watch me and they'll follow me on Instagram for a while before they actually reach out to me and want to buy or sell a house.
So I have two things. One, I have my DMs activated on TikTok, so anybody can DM me freely. So I get a lot of those. And two, I have my phone number in my TikTok bio. So I get a lot of calls all the time, just like people texting me or giving me a call, just being like, hey, I follow you on TikTok. I'm interested in a house. Can you help me out? But you can't, and like I have my website linked on my TikTok too. So I get a lot of people signing up through the website to take a look at houses, and then I'm capturing their data through that.
Darn it, I don't think I have my phone number on my TikTok.
I
didn't want to put it. I didn't want people to just be able to call me because half the time I'm doing this.
Well, there are some systematic ways to filter things, like Ken Pozak, who has a YouTube channel.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was brilliant. He has a phone number specifically for his YouTube clients, like people watching on YouTube.
Yeah.
So then people answering the phone know that it came from YouTube, and also a specific email that comes. I don't know if you can put email on TikTok, but an email that's specific for that channel.
You can do a link tree, but also with the CRM we use, Chime, you can have it where you use one of those numbers and they call straight into your Chime.
Right.
And then it'll capture their information, all that sort of stuff, which is pretty cool. I don't want to miss out on Olit's last question. What do we actually use to film? You said the phone. That's what you use.
Yeah.
That's what you use, Melody?
Yeah.
Phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
And
phone.
Ian has all his cameras that he was showing off.
Yeah, but I use my phone for the TikToks. It's pretty straightforward.
So it's interesting that you like talk about Chime and integrations. We are going to talk about that in an episode where we're going to go through Chime and whatnot, because we're all about technology in this podcast. We're also all about implementing something that we've learned from this podcast. So since Brandon is the guest of honor.
Oh, I love this. Yes.
What would you recommend that the listeners should be implementing from this podcast after listening to it?
I think get on social media. It doesn't have to be TikTok. It doesn't have to be Instagram. It can just like starting short form content that is showing your personality. And if you are going to be taking the time to create that short form content, be intentional with it. Always have it in your mind, like, what do I want to achieve for this? And it's not about just like, I'm just posting on social media because I want to. It's about having that passion to do it, because people see that. And that's when people connect with you, and people want to connect with people on social media these days.
Okay. So if you are on social media already, if you're not, you should get on it. I want you to post a video that shows your personality. And I want you to tag Brandon, Ian, and me, all three of us, when you post that video that showcases your personality. So you want to be very intentional. And it doesn't have to be about real estate. It just needs to show your personality, because I think that's one of the biggest takeaways from today's talk was showcase your personality, know who you are, and know your platform and who you're speaking to. Because Ian, what do we always say?
We always say, don't let indecision be the decision.
It's important,
y'all. For real.